What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Here we are with another reaction. In this video, we have Poland's economic rise from underdog to EU powerhouse. Before we dive into this video, if you guys happen to enjoy it, please don't forget to smash that subscribe button, give the video a thumbs up. Also, if you would like to support this channel by becoming a member, all you gotta do is hit that join button and receive your exclusive benefits. Let's dive right in.
Imagine a country once considered a laggard, its economy trailing so far behind that catching up seemed impossible. In 1989, Poland was in a dire situation, with a GDP per capita gap of 13-1 compared to Germany. This disparity was twice as large as the gap between the United States and Mexico at the time, highlighting just how distant Poland was from its Western European neighbors. Wages were artificially suppressed, and the nation's industries were inefficient, shackled by a stagnant system. Poland, economically speaking, was stuck. Fast forward to 2024, and Poland is no longer the underdog of Europe. In fact, the country's journey from the shadows of economic hardship to becoming one of the fastest growing economies in the European Union is nothing short of spectacular.
That's crazy.
This story of transformation is not just one of overcoming adversity, but one of resilience, opportunity, and a little bit of luck.
My word I always use when describing Poland. Y'all know the word I constantly use. Poland is a country of resilience. The people of Poland are resilient. That is the #1 thing I always say.
So how did Poland go from being so far behind to recording the EU's highest GDP growth rate in 2024 at a solid 4%? Let's dive into the fascinating rise of Poland, look at the numbers that define its success, and explore what the future holds for this Eastern European powerhouse. For a start, let's go back to the early 1990s. Poland, like many post-Soviet countries, faced an economic crisis after the fall of communism. Wages, for instance, were exceptionally low. From 1992 to 2014, the share of wages in Poland's GDP fell from 63% to just 46%, marking the second lowest level in the entire European Union. Compare this with the average wages of Germany, where workers in car factories were earning as much as 3,122 euros per month, while Polish workers doing similar jobs in manufacturing were being paid a meager 835.
Nah, that's crazy. Oh my. But we know what Poland went through, and we know, they were under communist rule. We know they had that. They needed time to bounce back. God dang.
This wage disparity played a pivotal role in attracting foreign investment. Countries like Germany began to see Poland as an ideal location to shift manufacturing, not only because of lower wages, but also due to its proximity to major Western European markets. By 2004, when Poland joined the European Union, this disparity was even more pronounced, but the benefits of EU membership were about to change everything. From 2010 to 2016, Poland received EU transfers equivalent to 2.7% of its GDP annually. These transfers were crucial in helping modernize Poland's infrastructure, develop its industries, and integrate the country into the broader European market. But there was a trade-off. During this same period, 4.7% of Poland's GDP flowed out of the country as profits for foreign investors, showing that while Poland was growing, much of its wealth was also dependent on foreign capital. Yet, this wasn't enough to slow Poland down. In 2008, while much of Europe struggled with the global financial crisis, Poland was the only country in the EU to maintain positive economic growth. This resilience was partly due to its strong ties with Germany, which accounted for 28% of Poland's exports. To put this in perspective, only 6% of Germany's exports went to Poland, highlighting the imbalanced yet vital trade relationship between the two countries. Germany's economic strength provided Poland with a lifeline during the recession, helping it weather the storm while much of Europe contracted. By
You figure, I mean, Germany should do. Not to go into the history, it's everybody's history. But shout out to Germany for stepping in and helping so much. But, I mean, Germany kind of destroyed a lot of Poland in the past, and then they got left under communist rule. So had Poland been uninterrupted, they probably would have been thriving already.
2024, Poland had not only survived but thrived. Poland's GDP grew by an impressive 3.2% annually in the second quarter of 2024, beating analysts' predictions, which had forecasted a growth rate of just 2.7%. Wages in Poland had also grown by 11% compared to the previous year, bolstering household consumption and further driving economic expansion.
That's beautiful.
This remarkable growth placed Poland among the EU's top performers. Between the final quarter of 2019 and the second quarter of 2024, Poland's GDP surged by 12.5%, making it the fourth highest in the EU, surpassed only by Malta's incredible 18.8%, Croatia's 17.4%, and Cyprus's 15.6%. Unemployment in Poland is projected to remain at just 5.3% by the end of 2024, again ranking among the lowest in the EU. In January 2024, unemployment was as low as 2.9%, trailing only behind Malta. It's no wonder that experts are taking note. Poland's economic stability, bolstered by low unemployment and rising wages, has caught the attention of analysts who foresee continued growth if the country can navigate its remaining challenges. So, what are these challenges? Well, despite Poland's strong economic fundamentals, there are dark clouds on the horizon. Inflation remains a persistent issue. By the end of 2024, inflation is expected to rise to 3.6%, and in 2025 it's projected to reach 4.6%, well above the National Bank of Poland's target. This inflationary pressure could have a significant impact on the Polish economy, potentially limiting household consumption and eroding wage gains. While wage growth in 2024 is forecasted to remain robust, averaging 12.3%, the rising cost of living could offset these gains, leading to a potential slowdown in consumer spending.
I absolutely hate that, right? You're making more money, but then things start getting more expensive, so it's like nothing has really changed for you. So it's like, although you feel like you're making more money, you're not really making. You are making more money, but you don't have more purchasing power. You have the same purchasing power as you had before due to inflation, making things more expensive. There's not a more frustrating feeling than that. There's not a more frustrating.
Another issue is Poland's reliance on foreign investment. Although foreign capital has driven much of Poland's industrial and infrastructure development, investment has started to lag of late, and the share of net exports in GDP is expected to remain minimal in the coming quarters. Without significant reinvestment into domestic industries, Poland's growth potential could be stunted. The concern here is that while Poland's industrial base has been the bedrock of its economic rise, shifting global dynamics and the country's increasing focus on the service sector may leave it vulnerable to external shocks. For example, Germany, Poland's largest trading partner, saw its economy contract by 0.1% in 2024. If this downturn continues, well, it could have knock-on effects for Poland's export-driven industries. And then there's the political landscape. In December 2023, Donald Tusk's Civic Platform Party won the national elections, ousting the Law and Justice (PiS) party after 8 years in power. This election was a pivotal moment for Poland, with a historic turnout of 74% of the electorate, the highest participation in recent memory. The PIS government had overseen a period of severe inflation, which peaked at 18.4%, the highest among large European economies. Their tenure was also marked by the controversial 2021 tax reform, which introduced two different tax codes at the same time, confusing both businesses and citizens alike. The PIS government's failures extended beyond economic mismanagement. Under their rule, Poland lost access to 60 billion euros in EU COVID recovery funds due to non-compliance with EU rule of law standards. This amount, which represented 8% of Poland's GDP, could have significantly bolstered the economy during the pandemic recovery.
But I know Poland, they don't always go with what the EU want. EU might want to do this in Poland, and we gonna go ahead and do it our way. Whatever penalty, fine, whatever we got to pay, we'll pay it. But we gonna do this thing our way.
However, with Donald Tusk now in power, there is optimism that Poland can restore its relationship with the EU and regain access to these critical funds. But Tusk's pro-European stance is not without controversy. While his policies are aimed at deeper integration with the EU, critics, particularly from nationalist factions, have accused him of putting European interests above Poland's sovereignty. Tusk's opponents, particularly those aligned with the PIS, have labelled him a German agent, a reference to his close ties with EU institutions. This rhetoric has stoked tensions within the country, and Tusk's decisions will undoubtedly be scrutinised as Poland navigates its future within the EU. One particularly contentious issue is Poland's relationship with Ukraine. Poland has been a staunch supporter of Ukraine throughout its ongoing conflict, but this has come at a price. Domestically, farmers have expressed frustration over the influx of cheaper Ukrainian agricultural products, which they argue undercut local businesses. This issue has sparked protests and raised questions about how Poland can balance its support for Ukraine with protecting its own agricultural sector.
I understand that.
Tusk's shift towards a service-based economy has also stirred debate. His goal is to align Poland with broader EU trends, but critics argue that moving away from industrial exports could undermine Poland's strong manufacturing base. Poland has relied heavily on its industrial sector, particularly exports to countries like Germany, to fuel its growth. With Germany's economy now contracting, critics fear that focusing too much on the service sector could leave Poland vulnerable to external shocks, particularly in the event of a global recession. Poland's rise from...
so it's like, even though he got voted in, there's still challenges and stuff that he has to figure out. And some things, it just doesn't feel like there is a right answer. When you weigh up both options, you don't know which one is the right answer. You don't know if there is a right answer. You just make a decision and you go with it and you commit to it. But what do you guys think about Donald Tusk? I'd love to hear what you guys got to say about him in the comment section. And whether you like him, why you like him, whether you dislike him, why you dislike him. If you don't want to talk about it, completely understand. I hate talking about politics when it comes to the U.S. So if you don't want to talk about it, completely understandable. Don't forget I said it.
Economic underdog to EU powerhouse is an inspiring tale. The country has defied the odds, growing its GDP by 12.5% in just a few years and maintaining one of the lowest unemployment rates in the EU. However, the road ahead is fraught with challenges. Rising inflation, lagging investment, and political divisions could slow Poland's momentum. And with Donald Tusk's government facing significant pressure both domestically and from the EU, the stakes are higher than ever. So, what do you think? Can Poland maintain its incredible growth and become a leading force in Europe, or will these challenges hold it back? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below.
I think Poland can keep that growth going. It can maintain its place in Europe, and it can thrive even more. Um, I love to see how things continue over time. Poland is full of resilient people, so I think the country will do what it does best, and that's continue to push, continue to thrive, continue to progress. That's all we have. If you enjoyed, please don't forget to subscribe. Give the video a thumbs up. Check out the next one. I'll see y'all next time.